Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a testing out Pinterest recipe for you, and I'm going to be doing a scone recipe. And I want to show you guys this recipe. I'm going to follow it exactly as it says, but I'm also going to let you guys know what things I kind of wanted to change about the recipe as we go through it. So without further ado, let's just get started. I'm going to go ahead and take a cup and 3/4 worth of flour into a large mixing bowl, as well as 3 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to go ahead and whisk this all together. This is the first thing I think I'd want to change. I think I'd want to sift the ingredients together. I think it would make for just a better overall batter. Then I'm going to go in with the butter, and I'm going to go ahead and just crumble it into the dough. I wanted it to be crumbled so it was a sand-like texture. I did crumble it a lot, but I think I should have crumbled it even more than I did to really make that butter just go a little bit further. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons worth of sugar into the flour mixture. And then I'm just going to go ahead and combine those together. This is the only part in the recipe where I didn't follow it exactly because it called for ½ a cup of milk and I didn't have milk. I only had heavy whipping cream and I didn't realize until this point, but I didn't want to stop. So I just filled it up with heavy whipping cream, about 3/4 of it, and then for the last little bit to make it ½ a cup, I used some water just to thin it out, make it more the consistency of regular milk. And then I just mixed it all together with a butter knife, which I guess the recipe calls for a butter knife so it doesn't overwork the dough, which I thought was actually a really interesting step. Now on my floured surface, I'm going to go ahead and just start to knead this dough. I do wish that this recipe called for a little extra milk, just because as you can see here, my dough was so fragile and just crumbly, like it really did not want to stay together. Even when I was like using the rolling pin, it still wanted to just flake apart. I just found it was easier to try to press it out using my hands. Now I'm going to take a square cookie cutter, because yes, I still cannot find my round cookie cutters anywhere. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to punch out some little biscuits with this cookie cutter and put it onto our baking sheet that we already have lined with parchment paper. I really had to gently take them out of the mold because they were just so flaky, and I know this problem could be avoided if the batter called for a little bit more milk. So I'm just going to go ahead, put all of them on the parchment paper with whatever dough I have left. I'll combine it together and make a couple more, which I did off camera. Now we're going to make a simple egg wash to go over the tops, and it just wants you to use plain egg whites. I find the easiest way to separate egg whites from the yolk is to break it into your hand and just let the egg whites fall through your fingers. And then just give it a quick whisk to break it up, and then brush the tops of your pastry. I had to do it so gently. These things just want to crumble apart. And then I'm just going to go ahead and bake it. In the meantime, this step is optional, but I would highly, highly, highly recommend. I'm going to make some whipped cream to go with these scones. I just have a little bit of whipped cream. I'm going to add like a dash of vanilla extract and about a teaspoon of sugar. And I like to just add a little sugar in the beginning, and then I can taste and adjust as I go. And I want to whip this until it starts to form soft peaks. When it comes to scones, I like the whipped cream to be a little bit more runnier than the normal consistency of whipped cream. And you can pair this with some of your favorite jams, and I find that's perfect when it comes to scones. And I feel like anytime you go to a tea house, they always pair it with cream and jam. So here's how the scones turned out. They are not the most beautiful scones, I would say, but they actually tasted really good, which is why I would make those adjustments throughout the recipe, because I think it would make the end product look better and have just a little bit better of a texture, but the taste of the scones were still great, and I think this recipe is worth a try with those few changes. If you guys like these testing Pinterest recipes, leave a thumbs up so I can make some more. Leave your suggestions below for what you guys want to see in this channel. Subscribe for new videos every week and hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload. And until next time, guys, bye!